Okay, in problems 99 and 100, we have some applications of vertical motion, and we're given the function s of t is equal to negative 4.9 t squared plus v sub 0 t plus s sub 0. And v sub 0 just means initial velocity. That's the velocity at time t equals 0. Then s sub 0 is the initial height, and that's spelled H-E-I-G-H-T. The initial height, or s of 0, the height at time t equals 0. And this is the equation, what is called the equation of free fall. And this describes the position of any falling object. And this was Galileo's discovery. It doesn't depend on how heavy the object is. It only depends on how high the object starts falling and how long the object is in the air. That will determine its position and its velocity at any point in time. Its acceleration will always be the acceleration due to gravity, which in this case is negative 9.8 meters per second per second. So when you see the negative 4.9, you'll know that we're working in meters. So with problem 99, it says a projectile is shot upward from the surface of the Earth with an initial velocity of 120 meters per second. And that tells you that v sub 0 is 120 meters per second, or v of 0 is equal to 120 meters per second. And so we're asked, what is the velocity after 5 seconds and after 10 seconds? Well, velocity is the rate at which the position is changing. It's the rate of change in the position of the object. So if our position function s of t is negative 4.9 t squared plus v sub 0 t, which is 120 t, plus s sub 0, and since it's shot upward from the surface of the Earth, s sub 0 is 0. So our position function is simply s of t is equal to negative 4.9 t squared plus 120 t. Then the velocity function will be the derivative of this. So we'll bring down the 2, multiply times negative 4.9, and that is negative 9.8 t plus 120. And you'll see that the longer the object is in the air, the bigger that negative part of that equation will be, and soon it will overcome the positive part and the object will stop moving up and will start moving back down again. So our formula for velocity is simply v of t is equal to negative 9.8 t plus 120, and the question asks, what is the velocity after 5 seconds? And that means we're looking for v of 5. So we'll simply plug into the velocity function t equals 5. And you can do that on your calculator, and we'll get negative 9.8 times 5 plus 120, giving us 71 meters per second. So the velocity at time t equals 5 is 71 meters per second. And the positive value there means that the object is still moving upwards at 71 meters every second. After 10 seconds, v of 10 would be negative 9.8 times 10 plus 120. And so on the calculator that will be negative 9.8, or that's negative 98 times 10 plus 120, and we'll see that after 10 seconds it's still moving up, but the velocity is much slower at this point. So since the object is moving against the force of gravity that's drawing it down, it's starting to slow down. And we'll continue with problem 100 in the next video.